Hi, welcome back. My name is Kei Tyler, and this is going to be a weekly forecast for October 31st through November 7th through the lens of evolutionary astrology. This has been a crazy season so far, and I don't want to put too much lightheartedness on the fact that we are going through some transitions all over the world, and what a lot of people are coming to the consensus of is that nowhere is safe, that everywhere is experiencing some kind of breakdown. And to a certain extent, a lot of things are dissolving into rubble. This is some of the Saturn influence. Saturn in Pisces has the tendency to dissolve structures, to dissipate, to make things fall away. I won't speak on what is going on around the world. I think you are well aware of what is happening. I'll just say that the most important thing we can do during these times is to get closer to our family, is to spend time with one another, is to make sure that we are with the people who we consider our people. So if you're in search of or have been trying to cultivate a life where you're closer to the people that you love, where you're trying to capture some of your ancestral lineage, your roots, cooking like the ancestors of the lands that you're from, it's a really good time to seep into that. I'll start off with this week. We did have a full moon lunar eclipse on October 28th. And so as we're coming out of this eclipse, we're balancing the changes that are within ourselves and taking in, still observing, still kind of fighting off the world outside of us, that it's around us, that's swirling, that's feeling unstable, that's feeling like a big ball of emotion a lot of times. There's a lot of feelingness going on. And so this lunar eclipse that happened could have really put some endings to the last 2 weeks. And as we're coming into the 31st, it's been a couple days after, and it usually, the effects of an eclipse can happen, what my teacher says, maybe like a month prior, 6 weeks prior, and sometime equal to that after the eclipse. So don't be surprised if you're still kind of whirling, if you're still trying to fortify yourself and trying to really let the waters of the Scorpio season kind of move through your body. Situations will simplify if you have faith. If you have faith that they will solve themselves is a really important note. I've noticed a lot of the time these days, if I allow things to play themselves out, if I give it more hours, more days, more time, then a lot of these situations end up solving themselves, whether it was a problem, whether it's something that I'm not quite sure, I don't know how to solve. If you don't know how to solve it, it's okay to just simplify, tell yourself that there is a higher power here for you, and whichever lineage, whichever religion, whatever you believe in, put your faith in that strength. And the belief can come from, it doesn't have to really involve spirituality. Beliefs can just be a sound, a just, a positive way of looking at things. So having faith that things will turn out, there is a higher power, and that higher power can be whatever faith you want to put into your aura, into your bubble, into your manifestations, into your journal, into who you are. I know for myself, I have been really trying to find new ways of fueling myself. I've been so tired. It has been a very long summer. It's been a long trying to put things and make things work and fit it inside of something. And nothing really panned out through that summertime. And so now finding our way to respite, finding our way to allow ourselves to feel things so that we can unfurl, so that we can uncurl our bodies, so that we can become more fluid, more able to shift and move. Now that the eclipse is over, we have some things that we're wanting to implement, and it's still taking a couple days to put that into focus. I will say that in the next couple days, on November 4th, so Saturn is coming out of retrograde and it is stationing in Pisces at 0 degrees. This is an important day. The moon will be in Leo. Again, this is going to be Saturday. So, you know, the week is still kind of coming off of this really intense energy, kind of feeling a wobbling, kind of feeling like you need to adapt and adjust to what is coming your way. And what's coming your way is more of an outlook that is kind of releasing, that is allowing you to break out of kind of this softened chocolate shell that you put yourself in. You know, it's not too hard, but it is kind of fragile. And so it's not going to take much to break yourself out of that and to become more pliable, to become ready for new horizons. And you can start applying what you've recently learned about yourself. A lot of times when people are going through things in their life and they're applying astrology, they're realizing that through the cycles of life, while they are similar people, the experiences, the things they take in, the life they lead ends up being so shaped that day by day you realize that you're not the same person you were yesterday, 10 days ago, 15 days ago, because you're not doing the same things over and over again. You're seeing that there is difference. And so with Saturn retrograde, we look at our own authoritative roles, our self-imposed values and rules, and our inner dialogues and inner struggles. We look at those hard. And Saturn has been retrograde since June 18th. So almost 4.5 months we've been in a very internal process when it comes to the structure in our lives, when it comes to the rules that we apply to ourselves. And like low key, it's like, do I have the authority to say what I really want? Or do I have to actually see it to believe it? The answer is no. You can have faith. It can be practical. But you're needing to align yourself to different goals now, because through this Saturn retrograde, you could have been very aware of what works and what doesn't work, and keep continuing to try over and over different ways of bringing your life back into a whole state. And maybe you've felt like there have been shards left behind. And so during this Scorpio season, this whole Scorpio season is reclaiming a lot of those shards of yourself that have been broken off. A lot of the inner dialogue that you've been in here, you've been moving through the world, you've been in your head and not really considering that these thoughts have been surrounding you. And so bringing yourself back in, and allowing yourself to see how this new effect of where you are identifying your new self-authority. With Saturn in retrograde, we are very critical of our authoritative roles, our self-authority, whether we have the ability to make choices or if we are a victim to other circumstances that don't allow us to make choice. We could be very keenly aware of our inner dialogues, ones that aren't healthy, ones that are, and just the inner struggle. You could really be thinking about the struggle and kind of how hard it's been for the past 4.5 months, because quite honestly, Saturn has been in retrograde since June 18th. And so since the very early part of the summer, there has been a lot of overload on yourself. You've been overloading yourself with the way that the structure of your life has been holding up. And I'll say that when Saturn is in Pisces, it's hard for things to be holding up. It's watery. It doesn't have solid ground. You know, with Saturn in Pisces, it's a very kind of dissolving, and it's kind of like things falling away. And so if you're trying to find structure within that, you're going to have to develop new tools, because it's not the same when Saturn is in Pisces. You're going to have a lot less to stand on. And one thing there are quite a few things that you can stand on, but it's not of an earth element. It is of the water element. So using Scorpio season to bring you into this new understanding that you have to give yourself time to allow things to move through you, and that you can't keep rushing from one thing to another because you're not getting anywhere fast. I have quite a few friends that state, going slowly, taking your time, giving yourself rest, really caring for your inner emotional state can bring and can do the most work than if you were going to seminars, doing workshops, journaling, all of these other things. Some of these things are really just distractions. And so Scorpio season is here to make you feel. And it is painful. Saturn in Pisces can be painful. We can see a lot of what we have not measured up to. Professionally, as a parent, depending on where Pisces falls in your chart, this is where you could feel that life doesn't feel very grounded in that area. It can and it will. But the idea is to slow down so that you can understand where that is going to come from and what tools you are going to need in particular to make sure that this dissolving you can start to reclaim. So if it's a small island that's losing its beach because the shoreline is washing away with the water, with the ocean, Pisces, Scorpio is really trying to help you kind of reclaim, and Saturn is trying to put that boundary around there. So what we want to do is, if we're on an island, we want to preserve, we want to maintain, we want to create structure so that our shoreline isn't falling away. We've got to still have pieces and parts of ourselves. We still need to compact and kind of keep ourselves together. So when you're spread out, when you feel like you've just been worn out fully, this is an important time, because it can be of value to bring yourself back in and it work very well. The body desperately needs to slow down so your new intentions can align. When you're quiet, when you are not taking in a whole lot of information, when you are feeling your emotions, these intentions can align very quickly. If you went too fast over the past 4.5 months, I can guarantee you got sick. I can guarantee you didn't get a chance to fully integrate everything that you saw and you learned. I had that happen as well. I was sick many times within the 4.5 months. I was moving really quickly. I was doing a lot of different healing work and being a part of ceremonies and doing a lot of spiritual work with some really beautiful friends that I have. And, you can keep going and going and going, but I tell you, you need time to integrate all of that. And every time I thought that I could continue to go, I would fall, I would get sick. And it would give me time to just lay in the bed. This is kind of the first time in history since the pandemic that we could say, I'm sick, I'm not going anywhere. I'm sick, I don't feel well. I'm sick, I'm not doing a thing. I'm going to take care of who I am. And so, it's a good idea to slow down. It's a good idea to take your time and listen to others. It's a really great time to listen. Listening to your body, your mind, your emotions, but also those around you. And I'd say that this week, you could maybe feel the pressure of trying to get it right. But as long as you make things beautiful, as long as you try to tidy up and clean up as much as you can, certain aspects of your life that you can control, things that aren't dissolving, things that are still sturdy in your life, keep those things strong. Maintain those things. And the rest of what is falling apart will eventually bring itself back to you. You just need more time to gather all the little grains of sand. So Again, focus on making things beautiful, making things functional in your home. Wipe your walls down, clean your baseboards, get all your cobwebs out of the corners of your house. I understand if you believe they're your friends, but in my form and lineage and where I come from, those types of things aren't your friends unless they live outside. So cleaning out and reclaiming your space is very, very important. I'd say emotions are going to run high at the end of the week as the moon moves into personal signs, the most personal signs, which are Cancer and Leo. That's what I'm talking about. So you could get a little tipped off, a little angry, a little aggy, a little agitated. You could feel like someone or something could be against you. And you just really need to try your best to quell your suspicions, give more time for the situation to settle, and everything will sort itself out. You won't have to put in so much effort. You realize that you don't have to do as much as you have been doing in order to get good results. The weekend brings a little charge and a little push towards navigating something difficult. So if you run into a situation that feels like a lot, you're going to have the gusto to handle it. If you've got something planned that feels like it's going to be a lot on you, realize that you are probably going to be in your power. There's a nice square going on that creates a challenge and gives you a little bit of boost in growth and intention and energy. It'll give you a little bit of spark. So Saturday and Sunday are good days for getting things done or having the energy to complete some projects, complete some things around the house. It's really a good time to clean, you guys. Like, really a good time to clean, really good time to get rid of things. Use the power of the eclipse with that Taurus moon and simplify your material possessions, give things away, repurpose them, and reclaim your money by keeping things at home. Don't continue to keep buying more and more and more. You probably have exactly what you need, and the people that you know probably have the things that you need that you don't have. Okay, so as things change within you, you're going to really come into the fact that it's okay to be sleepy again. We're coming into winter. It's okay for human beings to slow down as all of the other mammals in life slow down when it gets cold. And I'm talking about the United States, the Northern Hemisphere. We have a very hard time slowing down at any time of the year. And this time is very poignant for that. We end up working more so that we can afford to buy more Christmas presents and afford to buy the things to make our people feel that they're loved. And things aren't going to make people feel loved this year, people. I think what is going to make people feel loved is being seen by you, being heard by you, you showing up for them, and being your true, genuine self, the one that you've been working on. Allowing things to come to you is still a very important theme this week. Give space for things to naturally pan themselves out. And on Monday, we move into a Virgo moon. Again, giving us that gusto to continue to clean up, polish, make our spaces right, because, we could be feeling like people are going to be coming soon. It's good to get things started early instead of doing things at the last minute. If you're going to have people over for the holidays or, just people in general, make space for them if you want them to be there. Make your dining room table delectable. Make your living space available for all to come and enjoy. Now is the time to clean out the corners and make space. So the larger scope of this week for everybody in a general sense is, while all of the things are happening in the world, we are still being tasked with working on ourselves day to day, functioning day to day, going to work. Important time to realize what you stand for, who you'll stand up against, who you'll stand in for. How do you stand? You know what I mean? When breakdowns in society or personal lives happen, we become keenly aware of what's truly important. So while these situations are unjust, they're something we don't want to watch or experience, they do uncover where we can assert ourselves, where we can be of better service so that we can improve what is lacking in the world. Scorpio season does bring what is lacking, and where do we need, what kind of resources do we need to reclaim ourselves in this area of life to where we're not lacking, we're actually magnetizing that which we need. We are learning how to care about others in more effective ways and how to give back this week. So do that in the best way that you know how. If you are looking to have a personal reading, and there will be more blog posts and more information about transits, about things that are happening on the website. I am now reaching a place where I can sink my roots down and be consistent. It's going to be a time where you can truly let go and bring yourself back up to speed. This is a time of reclaiming parts of yourself. And you know what those things are. You can feel them in your personal experience. And I hope that you stay safe, that you cultivate and bring yourself home, and you're able to usher your family home if that's what's happening for you. May you find some great moments of peace. And I hope that you really get a lot of things done this weekend. I hope that this is going to be a good time for you to finish what you've started. Thank you for listening. Please visit my website if you need to know more about who you are personally and your natal chart. And otherwise, I'll see you soon.